Yes, guys. Hello and welcome to the SpursRelated YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well and, of course, excited about the man that is on your screens right now. Of course, Richarlison today announced by Fabrizio Romano and other Tier 1 sources that this is 110% happening, guys. It is a here we go. It is Richarlison from Everton to Tottenham. And we're about to break down everything for you guys in terms of the fee, in terms of where he'll fit in, and in terms of, if you guys are happy or not so happy about this deal. But, of course, it is me, your host, James, and I'm joined alongside the very smiley Jack Burford, who is Richarlison's biggest fan, of course. Jack, how you doing?
I'm back, and I can't wait to talk about here we go, Richarlison. It's happening. And you know what? He is exactly the player Spurs need for squad depth, just someone with that calibre that can compete in any of the front three positions. Me and James have had multiple debates on here whether he's the right man, and I'm sure we'll get straight into it, and I'm sure there's some contrasting debates here. So I'm looking forward to hearing what all you Spurs-relatables have got to say, and especially what James has got to say, as I'm sure he's I may have swayed him, and now he could be holding up the shirt. I'm sure he's got a bit more of a positive outlook on this transfer, but it's going to be a good one, guys. So stay tuned, get your friends in, and let's make it a very good stream.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly that, Jack. I mean, there's already 30 Spurs-relatables in here. Absolutely love the support right now. It's brilliant. If you are in here enjoying the vibes, enjoying the information we're giving to you, enjoying the talking points, smash a thumbs up. And, of course, subscribe if you aren't already. So you can also bring us talking points in the chat. But Spurs Live was in here first. What a great guy this guy is. Great YouTube channel as well. He's smashing it as well. Circle's in it. We need to buy one striker, Cam, centre back, left wing back, right wing back. There's still plenty more to do, Circle. I've heard that Spence is drawing closer as well, which will bring you news on, of course. Tottenham is interested in signing Madueke, who obviously used to play for us. Could be interesting. Ayanami's in here. Of course, he's in here. What a legend. I hope the move's going well, mate. And he's saying Circle, Perisic, left wing back. Richarlison is a versatile attacker. Tottenham are also interested in Esther Pennan, and Reguilon will be sold. I could see that happening, to be honest. We've finally signed a Worth rotation forward. I've no doubt that he will gel in very quickly as he will be participating in the preseason. I'm sure he won a Qatar spot. Well, yeah, he's Brazil's number one striker, isn't he, Jack?
Yeah, number 9 starting for Brazil. And I have also got some stats. Let's get them in nice and early. So for Brazil, Richarlison has played 36 games, 14 goals and 6 assists. For international football, I think these are fantastic stats. Think about the amount of pressure of being Brazil's number 9 as well. There's been serious players in the past. You're competing with Jesus, Arsenal's new striker. You're competing with Firmino. And obviously, modern day players, they can play anywhere along the front three, and they've got multiple good players in that position. So to bring in someone of that calibre is a real statement.
Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah, good, nice stats early. Hit him with the stats, Jack. HMQ, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well, mate. He's saying he's lively, angry, confident, and unpredictable. Exactly that. Gabriel Son, love the name. Good news, he says. I agree. First time I'll catch a live stream, says Dylan. Dylan, absolute pleasure to have you in. He's looking forward to this one. We're looking forward to bringing you the content, mate. Keep whacking your comments and thoughts in the chat. That's what this channel is all about. Brian is in here. It's been a while, Brian. How you doing, mate? He says, how are you? I'm good. Jack, you're all good, aren't you?
I'm brilliant. Nice to see you in here, Brian. Thank you for the congratulations on hitting a K. It's the start of something special, me and James hope, and hopefully we'll keep growing.
Little bit of lag there from Jack. I don't know if it was my side or his side, but yeah, we get the point. Thanks, Brian. Always appreciate your support, mate. Hope you're doing well. Toxic Headshot is here saying, how you doing? Well, all good. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining. James Joris, exciting days. Big up, guys. Big up, James. Thanks for joining as well, mate. There's so many of you guys in here. I'm trying to catch up. Finn's in here. He's Brazilian. Absolutely. He only costs 5 million. 5 million, 50 million. A normal person saying hi, guys. Normal person, welcome in, mate. Thanks for joining as well. Big up, lads. Sorry, we're starting now, so can't stick around. No worries, Bobby. Enjoy your stream, mate. Let's talk about the squad as it is now. Not a first 11 yet. All about the squad. Exiati, come on, lads, big up. New haircut. Someone said this last stream. It's not a new haircut. It's just because I'm not wearing the big old.
Haven't they? They think you've got a fresh trim every new stream.
Yeah, I go every day. Is Lenglet? Here we go. He's not yet. Gibby reviews. Big up, Gibby. Looks like you're a Spurs YouTuber yourself. He says COYS. Big up, mate.
What a name.
And looking good, guys. Stream will be great. Thanks, mate. It will be great. Wage, did you support Tottenham? I've been a Tottenham fan all my life. I kind of came through the family, so I didn't have a choice. You could say unfortunately or fortunately, depending how you look at it. At the moment, I think it's great being a Tottenham fan. Hopefully, positive days ahead. Richarlison has years of experience as Brazilian international, starts above players like my idol, Gabriel Jesus, whose stat pads against Watford. Always the classic from Iron Army there. Is it me or are you guys on mute? Jack, you can hear me?
I can hear you all well, mate.
I can hear you. Alfred, maybe turn your sound up. Or if we are too quiet, guys, let us know. Good evening, guys. Symbiote, how you doing? Well, mate. Happy Welshman. Come on, Ben Davis. We should get Richarlison to score against Arsenal and then the entire name, Pigeon Conga. Oh, my goodness. Doing some homework for my fan account on here. Keep the stats coming. Dylan, absolutely love it. I hope the homework's going well. Spurs, what do you reckon we still need? We'll get into that. Look is here. He's from Africa. Absolute legend. All the way from Africa. Thank you for watching, mate. Richarlison is a fraud, not going to lie.
We'll get into it.
We're going to get into it. But, guys, big up, Chris. Thanks for joining. So many of you in here. Keep the comments flowing. I've only just caught up and it's been 10 minutes. Thanks so much for the support. Let's crack on with the stream. Let's talk about the first talking point. I'm going to hand over to Jack. Let's talk a little bit more about Richarlison.
Right.
That's the wrong button.
Oh, he cut me off.
Go on, Jack.
Let's talk about Richarlison. So, this deal looks like it's finally happening. Here we go earlier from Fabrizio Romano, reported by David Ornstein, who's very reliable. I think he might have been the first one to break the news. I think we spoke about 3 weeks ago, James, we created a video about what we would do with our 150 million. And he was one of my forwards. He was the forward that I'd add. And I tell you what, I'm extremely excited about this guy because I believe he's got the work rate that Antonio Conte demands. He starts for Brazil as a number 9. He's only had one season in the Prem where he hasn't got over 10 goals. And talking about a player with already this frightening front three who can potentially get double figures in the Premier League, Champions League, can play anywhere across the front three, it's just really exciting. And I think the problem with Spurs in recent times, we've bought players that are young, need time to adapt, and might have the potential to be as good as someone like Richarlison. But we are spending 50 to 60 million on a player that is ready to come straight into the squad. I'm not going to say starting 11 and compete with everyone. This guy is a serious player, and multiple Everton fans and people believe he's got the scope to be potentially become world class. He's 25. He's at a good age. He's only going to improve with better players around him. I'm seriously excited about this signing.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it, Jack. Yeah, very good points all round there. I mean, is he near world class? Let's let the chat decide. Maybe our first little talking point. But I mean,
maybe not near, but he's definitely got the potential from. You don't start for Brazil's number 9 for no reason. And if you're single-handedly dragging a team out of relegation on your back when they need it the most, you've got to be a serious player.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to know what the guys in the chat, the Spurs-related balls, think on this. I mean, of course, he's not world-class yet, but do people think he can get there? Of course, he's 24 years of age. Is that right, Jack? So, still 25 years of age, still plenty of time. Could become world-class 2-3 years. Who knows? I think he's here to stay. I mean, we can talk a little bit more about the value for money in a little bit, and if we think we could potentially lose money on this.
It looks like he's signing a 5-year contract. So we're signing him for the long-term project. We're signing him to stay around, compete for multiple years to come. It's obviously going to rise his stock as well if he stays in with Brazil and he stays with Spurs, and we continue improving at the rate we are currently. His stock is only going to rise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of crazy, isn't it, that, we've managed to get him off Everton, Everton's best player by some distance, for sure. And I mean, forget about Everton. Obviously, we're a Spurs channel. I fear for Everton next season, the amount they struggle with Richarlison. They could really struggle without him. But, I mean, can he become world class? I think there's a lot of people that are already commenting on this point. Let's get some of the opinions. SpursRelated says we need expressions on. I agree, maybe. Probably he's going to charge us about £700. So we'll have to see about that. We'll have to get maybe a Spurs-relatable fundraiser going on if you guys want that one. James, I'm still waiting for my invite to appear on your show. Chris, we're going to bring back some kind of fan show when we sort out the memberships. Of course, we hit 1,000 subscribers now. If you are sat here not subscribed, smash the subscribe button. But we need to still follow the process to get all the memberships and everything else, the donations, the super chats. That'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. So as soon as you can, I'm going to start doing a member show, a bit like all the other channels do, and then I'll start getting you guys on, of course, Chris. That'll be no worries at all. It'll be great to have you on. Richarlison is so versatile. It's brilliant for us, says Finn. And I'll be saying he's not world class for me and not near it right now, but he is at a good age. And if he surrounds himself with the right people, in a Conte good for environment, I have no doubt. Dylan saying might have potential to become world class if he's in the right environment. Could be a Bergwijn type player though. Yeah, it could go either way here. Could be class.
I totally see what Dylan's saying, but don't forget we bought Bergwijn from Eindhoven in the Dutch league. He never ever, I don't think, got double figures in a Premier League season. Richarlison, I think, has maybe a lot more potential. Maybe that's arguable, but he's definitely produced better numbers in the Premier League. And I think Conte, if he wasn't sure that Richarlison would fit into Spurs' system, we wouldn't have spent that much money on a player. Because if you look at Parati's recruitment with Kulusevski, Bentancur, we're signing players that are ready to come straight into our squad and show us why they're worth that price tag. So that's why I believe that I think he'll be straight in and he'll produce the numbers we need.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds about right. So many comments, guys. Keep them coming in. There's 40 of you across all socials now watching. It's great numbers, guys. We're absolutely buzzing. World class throw comments says Kev G. In my opinion, he will never reach that level. Sorry, I'm an older fan, so I'm from the days when there were real world class players. Of course, you know, Lineker, Gascoigne, Ginola. Mate, completely understand. I mean, we've seen world class players. Like I wasn't around for that era, but I've seen world class players. Bale was a world class player playing for us. For goodness' sake, you know, Harry Kane, he's a world class player. Heung-min Son, he's a world class player. There is world class players, but I just think
world class, James, because I think he is. I think even his dad come out and he says he doesn't believe he's world class, but it's up for debate. Just quickly, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but do you personally believe Sonny's a world class player, and how would you define the term world class?
Oh, 100%, he's a world class player. There's no two ways about it. Of course, Heung-min Son's a world class player. He just doesn't get some recognition he deserves. Like, for example, we didn't even get picked in the team of the season, which was an absolute disgrace. Wasn't even in the running for player of the season. It's just I don't know what is going on there. So that's up for another debate, isn't it? But Richarlison is going to be a great rotational player, says Chris. With Kane prone to injury, so no worries there. Sukil's still demanding these positions.
I totally agree, Sukil. I think we need it. I do, and I think the way we're going, we're taking this serious club mentality, and I believe if we want to compete, or hopefully finish above Chelsea and maybe potentially compete with Liverpool and Man City, you need these players because we all know we need a creative midfielder. We all know we need a better right wing back. We probably need another central midfielder and definitely another proper centre half. So I don't mind the demanding. This shows we're turning a new leaf, demanding these type of players. Wouldn't you agree with that, James?
Oh, 100%. Like, you need these players in your reserve as well. It's not all about the starting 11, of course. It's about the squad as well, which we've mentioned, numerous times. Our relationship with Everton is nothing but a good one. More business to come. Hopefully, Winks the other way. We need a left wing back. We have Perisic. We don't need a left wing back, says Exiati. Miles thinks it was an overpay. I want to get into Miles. I don't want to bring this up yet. It's a great talking point. I want to bring it up slightly further down the line because we're going to talk about what the fee was, what the breakdowns were on that, and get the chat's opinion on whether you guys thought it was an overpayment there. But Miles, good to see you, and thanks for your talking point. We'll get to that. Richarlison, Lenglet, and Spence will all improve from Conte. Son, Kane, great players and management to learn from. Couldn't agree more with that comment, to be honest. Signing teams' best players is what big teams do. Facts again. Would you agree, Jack?
Yeah, totally agree. It's what you need to do. If you look at Twitter or you speak to Everton fans, the vast majority of them will say Richarlison was their best player last season, and they're absolutely gutted to see him leave.
Yeah, absolutely. Spurs Live saying in today's modern game, the price for Richarlison is suitable for that sort of play. Yeah, I don't think 50 million plus add-ons is nosebleed stuff. But as I said, Josh, we'll get to that. Richarlison prays for Brazil. That is good enough for me, says Toxic Headshot. Bergwijn given a full season. We've never seen it. It's a good point. And Dylan said that's a good point. Richie is Premier League proven, so should be a better fit in our system. Basuma's charges have been cleared, which is absolutely great news. Spot on, Iron Army. Very, very good news as well.
James, we did say that we believe Spurs wouldn't be so silly if there was any chance these allegations might not be cleared. I doubt we'd even enter negotiations or get past a serious talking point. So fantastic. Basuma's going to be a fantastic player for Spurs. I'm so glad these charges have been dropped, and hopefully we can just concentrate on the football side of the game now, rather than all the politics.
Exactly. And of course they did their homework. You know, they've got to do some due diligence by signing a player with that over his name. 100%. Thoughts on the Tielemans deal? Winks to Leicester, Teals to us. Again, Spurs lad, love the comment, love the talking point. I haven't heard about Tielemans from a tier 1 source yet, so I will not be speculating. However, if that was to be true, Tielemans for Winks is an absolute no-brainer.
Player, James, do you? I know it's not tier 1. I think a guy called George Bannister reported it, so I can understand why he's saying this. Not tier 1. We only like to report the best news on here, but as a player, I think Alistair Gold's also said it's a player we've looked at in the past. Do you think he'd added squad depth, and does he have the creativity that we need?
Oh, 100%. Tielemans is far an upgrade, and he is creative as well. Like, he could almost play the Eriksen cross with like a Højbjerg. He breaks attacks down and creates as well. He's that hybrid midfielder that would be perfect in squad depth. It'd be fantastic. Is he just an out-and-out creative midfielder? Well, of course not. He sits deeper. He can, really stoke up. He breaks it up. He's box to box. He's kind of like a Basuma, but I would argue he's probably more creative, gets amongst the goals a little bit more.
Alongside Basuma, don't you think? I think they would complement each other quite well. And think about it, just to add, we're talking about 5 serious midfielders there. You've got Skip, Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur, and if you bring in someone like Tielemans, I don't want to speculate too much, but you're talking about a serious midfield that is capable of competing in all positions, and all of those players probably believe they can start.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And Kevin's saying, great addition. It'll be interesting to see how the signings fit in. It's exactly what we're saying. I mean, it's crazy to think that, we don't even know our starting 11 yet. Like, that for me is absolutely crazy. Is that not for you, Jack?
Yeah, mental. Completely mental. Just to make sure I'm talking about the right talking point, we're talking about the players that we look to be bringing in, right?
Yeah, like, you don't even know what the starting 11 is going to be right now. It's just absolutely...
Just to quickly talk about this, think about where we were 12 months ago. We had Nuno Espirito Santo. We didn't know who we wanted to have as our manager. We were a team that we didn't want to admit, but we were declining massively. And now it's a new era. It's a Conte era. Everyone wants to play for Tottenham. Everyone wants to play for Tottenham Hotspur. We're much more of an attractive prospect, and we're on the up. And we've just got Champions League football, and we're only going to get better because we've got a director of football that wants to transition this Spurs side from being that typical team that doesn't compete, just happy to sit around 4th, 5th, 6th, not willing to push for trophies. And now that mentality is changing, and we seriously look like we can be a team that competes on all fronts next year. I'm not saying I expect trophies straight away, but if we're competing and we're still in a race in December and we're looking at FA Cups and potential League Cups, that's revolutionary for Spurs. Look at the change in 12 months.
Yeah, 100%. It's just crazy. And it's crazy excitement around Tottenham at the moment. I think that just says everything we need to know. Like, everyone's suddenly really, really excited about the season. We made 4 quality signings already. Everyone trusts what Paratici and Conte are doing. It's absolutely crazy, how excited everyone is. Like, I can't remember being
on our faces before last season, James. We were doing shows, we were thinking, we'll try and stay positive. We've got someone positive. But now we're like, I'm passionate talking about my team, and I'm willing to have debates with people who support Chelsea, support Liverpool and Man City, because on our day next season, we're building a squad that is capable of competing with these teams. And I'm so excited to be a Spurs fan. We've got this amazing stadium. We've got a world-class manager, and we have world-class players at our disposal. This is exciting times to be a Spurs fan.
Yeah, 100%, Jack. And it's got to be said, like, this comment underneath is absolutely crazy as well. We started the stream with 20 people watching. There is now 100 people watching us across all socials, which is absolutely crazy, guys. Thank you so much for the support. If you are new, please do subscribe. You will not be disappointed with the content we bring you. Obviously, only the best sources, only the best information. We don't like to clickbait and say, Ronaldo's joining Spurs. That's absolutely pointless. We only bring in the best content, the best opinions, and it's a great community we're bringing here. We're building here with, the Spurs Relatables. So smash a like and smash a subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. It helps us out 100 million times the amount you probably think. So thank you all for joining.
Just to add to that, James, I think it's so important. We love interacting with the chat. We love to hear your thoughts. I think, like you say, it's an exciting time to be a Spurs fan. Even if you're a Premier League football fan, just interacting with you guys is brilliant. We want to hear your opinions. We'd love you to subscribe. And I'll tell you now, guys, we're going to have some fantastic content next year, and I don't want you missing out.
Yeah, 100%. I've already got a couple of guests lined up very soon. I want to do a name drop, but I won't. But let's just say one of the guys has millions of subscribers that will be coming over here, and he's a big Tottenham fan. So definitely subscribe just for that reason alone. We'll also bring you guys quizzes coming up, obviously transfer news, and we're probably going to start doing some watch-alongs next season potentially as well, Jack. I know you go to the games, potentially some watch-alongs, and of course Matchday vlogs. So it's all going on here at Spurs Related. It's great to have you all on board. So back to kind of about obviously everything that's happened today. Kev G's absolutely feeling good. Exactly that's everyone's saying about Madueke.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
all I know is Madueke, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a player who used to play for Spurs. I think a lot of players were gutted when he left. He's obviously at PSV Eindhoven currently, and he looks like a really exciting player. He's almost got that St. Maximin feel about him. I think he wears the headband. He's got that style. He's quick. I think he's right-footed. I've seen him score some fantastic goals. And yeah, talking about bringing him in potentially, I can't comment because maybe there's been development since we've been on the stream, but he'd be an exciting player to add to our attack. Brings that youth, but also looks to be a player that can hit numbers. So it's a really exciting time to be a Spurs fan. We're talking about bringing in serious players. Last season, he would have been a player that would have been in our starting 11, but now he's just competition for places, and that's exactly what we need.
Yeah. Exactly that. 100% agree, Jack. 100% agree. I mean, it's just the squad depth is so important. I'm sure the guys in the chat will agree. Squad depth, it's not just about an 11. Like this comment here from Simply Ace, welcome on in, mate. It's always great to see you, one of the original Spurs relatables. At the end of the day, Richarlison is probably not going to start over Kulusevski to start with, but that's probably right, At the end of the day, Kulusevski had an incredible season. He's an absolute phenomenal player. But Richarlison adds that kind of pressure to that front three. They have to be right on it. They have to be training well. They have to be performing well. They have to be fully switched on to keep their starting 11 place. Otherwise, they know Richarlison's right behind them, eager to get that place, right, Jack? So I think it's a complete...
building this front four, you can say, and even Lucas Moura on his day can be a good player, and I'm sure we're looking at other additions as well. It's exciting times because Kulusevski was unbelievable. He was creative. He dropped into the 10 role. He scored from long distance. His left foot is sublime. And also, if you've been watching some of the Sweden games, I was worried his right foot wouldn't be as strong. He's comfortable on both sides. He can score off either foot. And his creativity, his dribbling, those fast balls across the box when we played at home, there's multiple times where I've seen him take it down the line. He doesn't look fast, but he is. He gets away from his opponents. He's a fantastic player. And now having Richarlison make sure that he needs to keep this up. He can't falter. This is not his spot. He needs to earn it again next season. So, yes, Kulusevski deserves to start, but Richarlison is going to be on Son's back. He's going to be on Kane's back because he can play centrally, and he's going to be adding competition to Kulusevski. And it's a perfect signing. It really does make sense. And I know there's a lot of contrasting opinions, but let's be honest, Paratici and Conte, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. 100%, Jack. I agree. Michael's in here. Big up, Michael. Thanks for joining, mate. He says that front four can keep each other honest. You're right. Exactly. They're going to push each other to the limit. You know, if Richarlison's got a bad attitude, bang, Conte will get him straight out of there, back to Kulusevski. The other way around, you know, we know Kulusevski, although he's quite a quiet player, you know, he just gets the job done. We have seen the signs where he has lost his head a couple of times, and that's not me speculating saying he's going to do that. I really hope he doesn't. You know, he's an incredible player. But when he lost his head, I think it was against Brighton, he threw an elbow. You think, oh, you know, you need to calm down a little bit. So, you know,
I love that, James, though, personally. Being a Spurs fan, I think Mourinho said it. A team of nice guys, they're not going to win you games of football. And we are bringing in Christian Romero, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Richarlison. Yeah. These players are some of the most dislikable players in the Prem, according to rival fans, because they get stuck in, because they run everywhere. They go down. They're dirty players, to be honest. They want to win the free kicks. They might bend the rules slightly. But if we're doing this and it's going to help us get to that next level, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, I'm actually buzzing. Like, at the end of the day, like I was saying to you, Jack, I'm not too... Before we signed Richarlison, I'm not going to pretend like I was really into getting him. I'm still a bit unsure about how it's going to go. I think it's going to go one of two ways. I think he's going to be absolutely world-class and incredible, or I think he's going to be a little bit of a flop and it's not going to quite work out. I don't think there'll be a middle ground on this one. I think this is either going to be an absolute Paratici masterclass like with Kulusevski, or this is going to be the first one of a bad run. But
what would you class as middle ground? Because I would argue currently, with the potential he has, he probably is hitting middle ground. We're talking maybe 10 to 15 goals a season. Would you say that's middle ground? So you can either see him scoring 18 goals plus a season, or you can see him flopping. Is that how you see it?
I don't think he's going to get. I don't think he's going to get 20 goals, because I think there's Kane and Son scoring the goals as well. He's not going to start every single game, but I think a good, like above what I'm saying, like an incredible season would be him scoring sort of 10 to 15 goals, coming off the bench, scoring regularly, a bit like Kulusevski, but off the bench, like those kind of stats. At the moment, of course, he is scoring like pretty much 10 to 15 goals for Everton every single season. He was, but you would argue he's starting most of the games for Everton. I don't think he's going to start most games for us, unless, of course, comes in, hits the ground running and takes Kulusevski out of his place. But I mean, I think I'm going to spin this question on the chat now. It's time for the chat to have their say. I'm going to whack it on the banner at the bottom. Do you guys still want to see Son, Kane and Kulusevski? Or do you guys want to see Richarlison bed in over Kulusevski? Personally, I'll hand it over to Jack in a second. But I want to see the same starting 11, apart from obviously the new guys further back. I want to see Basuma integrated. Lenglet, of course, that's not done yet, so we can't say about that. But I would like to see Perisic at left wing back. So my starting 11 would be the exact same as last season, other than Perisic and Basuma in instead. But of course, we've got Richarlison off the bench. We've got Forster off the bench. Potentially Jed Spence coming in. There's such excitement around this whole squad. But guys, let us know in the comments, who would you start as the front three for Spurs next season in the starting 11? Over to Jack. What would you say?
Well, I totally agree, James. The only difference I would make is I honestly think it's completely the squad, the starting 11 is going to be tailored to the opponent we're playing. So when we're playing low block sides, so it's not Burnley anymore, but there's plenty low block sides that will be in the Premier League next season. So we're probably going to need a creative player, someone who can unlock that door. And I think Kulusevski is a creative player. You see him this season doing nice 1-2s in tight spaces. Also has a wand of a left foot where he can curl it into the top corner. We've seen that against Norwich. We've seen that against multiple times. Let's be honest, even against, I think it was Leeds, he scored 2 goals from the same position, just wrapping it in that near post. But then Richarlison as well, he's got that firepower. He's got a fantastic dribbler. He's got the pace to get in behind. And imagine a front three of Kane, Son and Richarlison. When we're playing against Man City and Liverpool, they're going to be playing with those high lines. So we're going to have Richarlison and Son pushing, driving with the ball, getting in behind their fullbacks and centre halves. It's exciting because they've got that pace, they've got that composure that like someone like Bergwijn potentially could be lacking. So really, like it's exciting. It really is.
Yeah, exactly. It's so exciting because there's so many options as well. Like you
carry on, James. Carry on.
I was just going to say, like, there's such versatility with Richarlison coming in. He can play off the left, he can play off the right, he can play up front. So whoever gets injured, whoever's out of form, there's that pressure on every single position in that front three. And like you said, Perisic could even play a further forward role as well at times. I think he's going to mainly be playing wing back.
So do
but who knows? He could play off the left wing if Son is injured. Just so many options now. It really is.
we're forgetting, we're talking about the front three as our attack, but next season, I genuinely believe the fullbacks are going to be crucial. We're talking Perisic on the flanks. Like, he's two-footed, Perisic, honestly, and so is Son. He's so ambidextrous. They can use both feet, so they can cut in or whip a ball across the box, and that's exactly what we need. So I'm so excited to see that. We're talking about Jed Spence potentially being brought in. He's got that pace. He's great at driving with the ball. We've also got Doherty, who's got that experience, has played for Wolves at a high level, and we saw the real Doherty that we thought we were buying in the first place. So I think them being high up the pitch, fast balls across the box, looking at Kane, Son, and Richarlison and Kulusevski, like I keep saying it, guys, but it really is exciting times.
Exactly that. Maxime's in it, says amazing transfer window so far. Just 1 year ago, we didn't even have a coach, and Nuno got Nuno after 10 different names. What a year! What a change! You know,
I don't know if you missed it, but I'm saying I think it was 12 months today we might have signed Nuno or we sacked Nuno. It's revolutionary. It's transformational, the stuff we've done in a year. And to be honest, it's credit to Paratici, credit to Conte. I know Paratici's had his critics, but he is the one who convinced Conte to join. He is the one who brought in Bentancur and Kulusevski. And being a director of football, that is a stressful job. And I think if you've seen pre-season, he's always on the phone. He wants the best for this club. And we're really on an upwards trajectory.
Yeah, completely agree, Jack. Completely agree. Let's go through some comments from the Spurs relatables. Kev G saying James with 2 games a week and a World Cup coming up, they won't be able to play every game. I completely agree. This is why I'm saying the squad depth is so important. You know, Richarlison won't play every game. You're right, and neither will Kulusevski. But what I'm saying is I don't think Richarlison, who pretty much played every game for Everton, will be in that situation at Spurs. I think he'll be, you know, much more of an impact player off the bench. And if, you know, Kulusevski falls off form, Richarlison comes in, and that's the luxury of this deal. Stephen saying still Son, Kane and Kulu for me. Use Richarlison more to give Kane a rest in dominant games. He wants to play him as more of a central. Unbelievable. Pre-season weight decision for us, exactly. Okay. John Sonarina, nice name. He's saying Kulu can't not bench Richarlison. I think he means can't bench Kulu. What do you think? I'm not too sure. Let us know, John. Jacob Harding saying, hello, lads. First time on your live. Not a bad channel, to be fair. Thanks, mate. He says, I'm an Evertonian. I'm gutted Richie has gone. Oh, mate. With 60 million, I hope Everton sign Gallagher and Sarr. I hope you guys do well. But please do take Harry Winks off our hands. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thanks, mate.
And just to add to Everton, I think that you still have the money. I think Frank Lampard is a manager that, because he's been at the top end of the game, he's not going to accept anything but the best. And if you can bring players in like Gallagher and Sarr, I'm sure with the money you have and owners that care, I'm sure you'll be fine. But like you say, if you want to bid 20 million for Harry Winks as well, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy Englishman 2004. First time I've seen you, mate. Thanks for subscribing and joining. He says even drop Kane deeper against a low box side and put Richarlison up top. Yeah, great idea. I mean, Kane drops deep anyway. He could potentially playing behind Richarlison. Why not? Sukil, love the comments, mate. I'm not ignoring them. I just don't want to speculate over a player that I haven't heard a tier 1 source with. But as soon as we do, you guys will get a video 100%. VL Blaze is saying, what about Nkapie? Again, I'm not too sure if this is accelerated. I'm hearing tier 1 sources about Lenglet. That looks like to be the next signing in terms of a defensive signing.
I think we can brief over this because I think all our Spurs fans, including myself, we love to hear the latest news. It's not always going to be tier 1. Like, the best thing is it doesn't start with tier 1. So Nkapie, I'll quickly cover it. I'm not going to say we're going to sign him, but he's a left-sided centre-back. I think he plays at Bayer Leverkusen. He's an exciting player, and he's left-footed. But it's also keen to say that Alistair Gold has reported that Spurs want 2 centre-halves. And it looks like one of them is going to be Clement Lenglet. We can say this because Fabrizio Romano, Matt Lord, Damasio have basically said this deal is nearly done. So it looks like he's going to be one of the 2 centre-halves. The other one, I'm really excited to see because I think it's going to be a proper name. Potentially someone like Gyson Bremer, I would like to see. Koulibaly. I think we're going to bring in a serious name. Do you, James, or do you think maybe Lenglet will just be one of the 2?
Do you know what the thing that upsets me a bit about Lenglet is? I'm not going to be devastated if we sign him, but I feel like he's not really been the best player for Barcelona. Is it fair to say he's not amazing? I mean, it's
because Bentancur and Kulusevski, who would have said they were brilliant players? Because I've got to be honest, I was one of the Spurs fans who wasn't exactly excited by the prospect of bringing them in, and look how well they're doing now.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I just don't think he's like a fancy name, Lenglet. Of course, he's been at Barca, but I think everyone thinks, he's kind of not been at the forefront of Barcelona's centre back partnership. It's always been PK carrying that, to be honest with you, or there's been other names, not Lenglet. Like Lenglet's one of those ones where I'm like, he's not amazing. I would be upset if we just sign him at left centre back. I think obviously you could argue Ben Davies should still start if just Lenglet comes in.
Like we said, we keep talking about a squad. If he is good enough to start, he will start. Conte will see him. As well as this, when he was signed by Barcelona, this guy was one of the hottest prospects as a centre-half. He's left-footed. He's composed on the ball. I think the Spurs talk show, there's a little plug for Sean. He did a fantastic little video on this saying that his underlying stats, and they are important. I don't judge a player by stats. I judge it by the eye test, because I think that is the best way to be. But they are still important. And they showed some fantastic stats for Lenglet. He's a fantastic distributor of the ball. He's very comfortable. He's also good in the tackle. So I think he could be a player that excels under Conte. Maybe he needs a guy to put an arm around him. We've seen multiple times in football where if a manager doesn't believe in you and you're not in the right environment, it's hard to perform at your best. And if Conte shows him the love that maybe he deserves and he can rediscover the form he had at Sevilla, he could be a great player. So I think it's keen to stay optimistic on this one. Yes, Ben Davies was brilliant. So it's nice to see there's going to be competition in that place next year. And there might be another centre-half being brought in alongside Lenglet. So like you say, we're building hopefully a solid foundation at the back. And that's what starts your attacks. That's what you need. There's no point having this world-class attack if we haven't got players just as good at the back.
Yeah, 100% agree, Jack. 100% agree. There's been so many comments. Some people talking about Nkapie. Some people talking about Jed Spence. Jed Spence is the next talking point after we've talked about Richarlison, guys. So stick around for that if you guys want to hear about Jed Spence and the latest on that. John's saying, do you guys think Spurs can win anything under Conte? I'm tired of, not winning anything. We need to win something. I completely agree. Do I think we'll win something this season? I'm feeling pretty confident, guys. It's the most confident I've ever felt personally, especially the squad we're building. I think that's the most important thing. We seem to always have a decent 11, but it's always the squad that lets us down. We look to the bench and we're looking at Brian Hill for the first half of last season. That was our first person to go off the bench. Like, it's crazy. This guy you absolutely love, Jack. I know you do. And here he is, Spurs Talk Show says, smashing the numbers tonight, lads. Fully deserved and huge congrats. Smash that like button, people. And here he is, another great channel. If you guys haven't checked out already, Spurs Talk Show, great channel.
A Clement Lenglet advocate. So if you want to hear some good stats and figures, we bring you lots, but we also probably talk a lot about how we feel personally. But if you want to hear some stats as well, Sean is a great guy to go and watch.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. And guys, if you are in here, there's 130 of you. I can't even believe I'm saying that, to be honest with you. 130 of you watching live. Please smash the like button. And more importantly, subscribe if you're sat there watching, because number one, if you subscribe, you can chat and you can get a comment read out. You can get talking points started with hundreds of people here. Apparently, we're not even used to that. But also, if you subscribe, of course, you get great content coming your way. Transfer news, quizzes, live streams, vlogs, watch-alongs. There's so much to look forward to, guys. I really do appreciate all the support. And honestly, if you subscribe, you'll make my day and you'll make Jack's day. So let us know. Marley, how do you say that guy? Marley, isn't it? Marley. He's a solid shout. He was good in the Euros, wasn't he, for Denmark? Really good player. What do you guys think about Notto? Thanks for the comment, Tuan. I haven't got a clue about this guy. What about you, Jack?
I haven't got enough.
Yeah, see, we just made ourselves look stupid there. Lenglet was brilliant at Sevilla, says Spurs lad. We should go for Ndicka. He plays in a back three for Frankfurt. He's very fast. See, I have seen this guy because he had a really good run in the Europa League. Of course, they won it. Yeah, fantastic. A couple more comments and then we'll move on. If we didn't get to your comment, of course, that's not, anything against you guys. We're just trying to get on with the show and keep it moving for you guys, keep it entertaining. Alex is saying, even boys, any ideas why other teams are starting preseason and we haven't? I just think it's the way it falls in. I think a week after next, we're in South Korea, I think, on a tour against Sevilla. So that'll be interesting as well, of course. Salt Care saying, even lads, great show as always. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for joining. would you take Gordon from Everton? Last talking point.
I personally would, after a bit of convincing. I have been speaking to lots of Everton fans about potential players, but they would be devastated. I think they'd be just as gutted losing Richarlison as well as Gordon. So imagine a double blow. He's a player with a lot of potential. I feel like it might be too soon for him to get a big move like coming to Tottenham, but he's a talented player, that's no doubt. I think he predominantly plays on the right-hand side. He's direct. He's good with the ball at his feet, and he's got a lot of scope to improve. I don't think probably it's the right time for him. I think it makes sense for him to stay at Everton for a while. He is also an Evertonian, so I don't see this one happening, but I can see why we would be interested in a player like Gordon.
Yeah, spot on. Agreed. 100% agree. Guys, great talking points. I mean, 45 minutes, we're still talking about Richarlison and starting to spill over to Gordon now. So I think it's a great time to move on to the next topic, which is, well, we did talk about Lenglet. Jack, do you want to quickly give the Spurs-related balls a little bit of information about Clement Lenglet?
Clement Lenglet is a left-sided, he's a left-footed centre-half for Barcelona. He was a very hot prospect under Sevilla. He was fantastic for them, and then he got his big move to the Catalan giants, Barcelona, but he probably hasn't lived up to that expectation. He was in the French national team, and let's think about how hard it is to play for them, with lots of competition there. So he's clearly a talented player. I think he's going to provide good squad depth for Spurs, and I think it's a smart addition. Do I think that he's a player that's going to come straight into the starting 11? No, I don't. But I think it's a smart signing. I'm excited to see how much he can improve. He's still at a good age, and maybe just needs a shoulder around him. And I think that it's a smart signing. Like I said, I'm excited. It's still an exciting signing.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think he's maybe fallen off the boil a little bit. Perhaps why Barca aren't too shy of letting him go. But it's been approved by Conte. Also, quickly, guys, at 10 o'clock this morning, Fabrizio Romano did say that Lenglet is expected to become the next Spurs signing, approved by Conte. And if that doesn't fill you with confidence, how can you get filled with confidence if it's not Conte giving the approval? Conte clearly likes this guy. He sees something in him. It's a bit like an Ashley Young story and a Victor Moses. These guys aren't, incredible marquee players, but he turned them into something really special at Inter in that system at wing back. And actually, maybe Clement Lenglet isn't a marquee signing, but could be one of those, dark horses that turns out to be an incredible signing.
It's not like we're forking out a load of money for a player that we're potentially worried it's not going to work. It's a loan. I think it's a €6 million option to buy as well. It's not a load of money for a player that's definitely got potential. And like you say, if Conte wants him, why shouldn't we?
Agreed. 100% agreed, Jack. I mean, quickly, just skipping back to Richarlison, I thought it was quite interesting today that Fabrizio Romano also said that Chelsea went in for Richarlison late and tried to hijack the deal. You can't do the Willian thing again now, guys. We're a bigger club now. You can't do that. I just thought it was so funny that they tried to hijack it. Absolutely.
I'm glad Fabrizio Romano tweeted something like that out, because Chelsea fans, they always say they've got one up on us. Looks like there's a chance they might not even get Raphinha now, with Barcelona potentially getting an injection of cash. So if they miss out on Richarlison and Raphinha, it's a big statement for Spurs finally getting in players over teams like Chelsea, over Arsenal. And yeah, it's a great addition, and I can't believe that we finally got one over of them, because we all remember the Willian saga when he had his medical at Spurs. We paid the money and he went to Chelsea. So for us to finally do this, it's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Chelsea hijacking Arsenal and Barca hijacking Chelsea. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant how things change anyway. Solkil is saying Lenglet is musty, just needs an arm around his shoulder from Conte and he'll come alive again. And Matthew Lennon, great to see you, mate, is saying Conte wanted him at Inter. So there you go,
And I think Paratici's liked him for a while. Last summer, he turned down a move to Spurs, and it's shown how far we've come in 12 months, because now he seems like a player that's keen to. And not only is he keen to join Spurs, it looks like he's not guaranteed a starting 11. Last year, he probably definitely was. And this year, he's got a lot of competition, considering how good Bentancur and Eric Dyer have been. So, yeah, like you say, it's been transformational.
Agreed. Just quickly on the latest on Fabrizio, since we've been live, he's tweeted 40 minutes ago saying Tottenham already sent the official contracts to Richarlison and the agents in order to get the deal done. sealed soon. Medical tests in Brazil with member of Spurs staff there. So they're doing the medical tests in Brazil. Quite incredible. You know, a member of Spurs staff going out there to do it. £60 million add-ons included to Everton. Chelsea wanted to hijack the deal. He put it again, but only at their conditions. I mean, this Chelsea owner, he's doing a great job, honestly. I've got to say, you know, great business as well, getting rid of Lukaku and still paying for him while he's not a player. That's also really funny, isn't it? But Gibby's in here saying COYS. I mean, there's so much hype around Spurs, and of course, there's more signings to come. And I think that moves us on perfectly to talk about this man, Jed Spence, who it feels like we've been talking about for a number of months now. Yeah. Now, Jack, obviously there was a little update today regarding Jed Spence. Apparently the deal is getting closer. So, you know, more business around the corner. Can you update us on this?
And Lyle Thomas, I think, have reported that the deal is very close and they finally expect it to be done. I think we even said we were worried at some point this could be a smoke screen. It looked like the Tomiyasu situation, but it looks like things are developing. Finally, it's probably because Levy was head of this deal, and now Paratici is wrapping up deals for Lenglet and Richarlison. He's probably going to move straight onto this one. So, yeah, exciting times. I personally think Jed Spence is a very talented player, someone that I would like to be seen, someone being brought in alongside him to help him develop, as I'm not as confident on the right-hand side as we've got Doherty and Emerson, but nonetheless, exciting player. If you look at, if you've just been watching him this season for Nottingham Forest, he's been exceptional, really. He's probably been one of their best players. They're obviously made it into the Premier League. If you saw him in the playoffs, he's been brilliant, and he's direct with the ball. He's a relatively good crosser. He's young. He's determined. I like his passion. You can tell he cared. Even though he looks like he's moving on, he was so desperate to win that Championship player final for Nottingham Forest. And that's what we need. We need someone who is willing to give everything for their team. I think there's a few question marks about whether he's the best at tracking back, but I'm sure Conte will instill that in him, because we all know that Conte is going to accept nothing less than the best.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the attitude problems a couple of people are asking about, Jack. What are your thoughts on that? Alex is saying not keen on Spence's attitude.
I understand where they're coming from. I think Neil Warnock had a few arguments with him, saying you're either going to be a top player or you're going to be a non-league player. And it looks like he's going to be a top player. Well, we hope so. Attitude problems. Let's be honest, guys. I think anything in life, we're all going to be unhappy if something's not going our way, or someone's we don't feel is treating us as well as they should be. That's in everywhere in life. So I think being in the public eye, being a professional footballer, you're always going to get a bit of slack if you're not performing or you're not showing as much respect as you should do, especially when it's on camera. So I can understand it. I haven't seen anything where I think Spence's attitude problems will be that much of a problem. I don't think he's done that much wrong, as we've seen. So I feel like Conte, if he believes in Spence and he thinks he's a great player, then I feel why wouldn't Spence respect someone of Conte's? Like, he's a world-class manager, so why would he not respect him? So I can't see attitude problems. Surely he's going to get over those attitude problems when you've got someone like Antonio Conte as your manager.
Yep, agreed. Suka was saying the Reece, Romero, Bremer, Lenglet, Spence, Basuma, Bentancur, Perisic, Son, Kane and Kulu. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. What do you think, Jack? I mean, I think for me, the only thing I can't see is Bremer happening, but, you know, you never know. I think also Dyer is still...
I think so. I honestly think another serious, maybe 45 million to 50 million player will be brought in. So I can see Bremer being a realistic signing, especially if Inter Milan don't want to sign any of our players or won't let us sign any of them. So why don't we go for one of their targets? Makes perfect sense. Serie A Defender of the Year. We saw how good Romero's been. I'd love to see someone like that being brought in.
Yeah, exactly. Spurs Live's all for it. Elvis, always good to see you, mate. You're saying Lenglet is undoubtedly a classy defender, invisible for some reason, may not be able to deliver properly. He should be given a chance. If we lose, we may regret it later. Yeah, absolutely. Tiers Escobar saying we should go for Pau Torres. I mean, that's gone quiet. I'd still love Pau Torres. Adesh's first time.
Sorry, just quickly, James. Sky Sports reported the other day that we are still looking at Pau Torres, so it could be a possibility as well.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that doesn't die out. Adesh is saying, I'd like Dyer as our first choice centre-back over anyone. He was excellent last year. We'll just get back. And I think a lot of people agree with you, Adesh. Welcome on in, by the way. It's first time seeing you. Thanks for joining. I mean, yeah, a lot of people still think Dyer will do a job. I think the question marks are maybe over Davies, but then you could also argue he had a great season considering, he was kind of filling at left centre-back, first time playing at club level at left centre-back, normally a left-back. There's all these question marks about, these current players still keeping their place. Well, I think it's all about squad depth again. I keep banging on about it, but we look to our bench and it is, Davinson Sanchez, there's question marks over how good he is. Of course, we got rid of players like Foyth in the past because we didn't think they were good enough at centre-back. We've got Tanganga, who we all think is going to be, most people think is going to be incredible, but then he plays and his positioning isn't quite great from set pieces. He still has a lot of potential, still young, but is he really going to be top level? There's still question marks, isn't there? So who knows? Louis, big up. Thanks, mate, for joining. And Spurs Live saying subscribe to their channel, guys. Exactly. I mean, I agree. I mean, there's 120 of you. We seem to have held over 100 views all video. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, we really do appreciate that. And I would appreciate you guys tuning back in for future videos, future live streams. And also let us know what you want to see on this channel. This is as much your channel as our channel. We want to bring you the best content and what you guys want to see.
New ideas. I think it's important to keep the ideas fresh. So, the football business nowadays is constantly coming up with new ideas, and we want to bring you the best content possible. What me and James thinks could be amazing, you might not. So I think it's keen to keep it interactive. Follow us on Instagram at SpursRelated and direct message us what you'd like to see, because we'll always check it, or put it in the chat. Like you say, if you're subscribed, you're able to do that. So like you say, let's keep it interactive as possible because we want to hear your thoughts. We like hearing from you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Without, plugging this channel too much and telling you guys to subscribe, because at the end of the day, that's up to you. But subscribing, really helps us out. B, it means you guys can then see when we go live again. And the other thing that's really important about subscribing is the more subscribers you have, of course, the more you appear on their home screens and everything else. But of course, the main thing for us is when you subscribe, of course, you can chat in the live chat. You can make friends with people. It's a great community. Everyone talks to each other, which is amazing. But the other thing is, compared to other Spurs channels, I like so many other Spurs channels, but we always bring up the comments. We try and bring up every single comment to bring up a discussion or, even acknowledge what you guys are saying. Because at the end of the day, these fan shows are about understanding who actually, thinks an opinion differently to another person. Maybe people have unpopular opinions. It's all about talking points here. So please do get your comments in as well as subscribing and liking. And Josh is saying he loves the stream. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that. Simon, first time seeing you as well. So many new faces, so many new Spurs-relatables, Jack. We've got to get to know, which is amazing. He's saying, think we should go for Madison. Could be an option, I guess. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of James Maddison. I think he's a good player. I think he would command a lot of money, and I feel like we could spend that elsewhere. Eriksen, we could have gotten a free for a player who has that similar potential. Some may argue, yes, he's had fantastic goals and assists. Definitely someone to look at, but I think we're spending a lot of money, and I would like to see a bit more money being spent maybe on another world-class centre-half and right wing-back. But yes, definitely, if we could bring in someone like James Maddison, why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we apply with those sort of numbers, that creativity, also that experience in the Premier League, someone who can come straight in and do a real job would be brilliant. But I think also a thing I'd like to stress is if you look at Conte's centre mids, it's kind of a similar pattern. We like a ball playing centre half, but he's good going forward as well as he is defensive, and someone who likes to sit and spray those passes. So if you look at Bentancur, Basuma, Højbjerg, Skip, they're all similar type of players. I don't really see where Maddison would fit unless we switch to a 4-1-2-1-2. Yes, like we say, it's important about squad depth, but I think to spend potentially 70 million on a player that isn't guaranteed to start week in, week out and not fit in our system that we're playing could be a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. And like Finn's saying here, English quota is the only reason I take him. If that's the only reason you take him, you don't do it, do you? Like,
of course you don't.
Fraser Forster, free, adds to the quota. You don't have to spend loads if that's your only purpose. But analysing him as a player, I think you're spot on, Jack. I think he's an absolutely class player. But is he worth the 70 million? that's a lot of our budget, of our 150 million budget that we've got through this ENIC funding. I mean, that's half the funding though, it's that's a big chunk. Which other centre backs would you want to see with Lenglet? I personally don't want to give up on the Bastoni dream, but even if that's not looking likely, I think Torres would be a solid option at left centre back. Jack, what are your thoughts on this one?
I am going to give you a different angle here. I think Lenglet is a fantastic left centre half. I think he can cover centrally, but he's probably better on the left side of a back three. So I would actually spend a lot of money on a central defender. I would love to see someone like Skriniar potentially be brought in, or I would like to see someone like Bremer or Koulibaly. If I had to choose out the three, I think I would actually go for Milan Skriniar, winning the Serie A, a player we've always liked, comfortable on the ball, fantastic in attack. I've said it multiple times. And I would just love to see how much Spurs have changed. Maybe a player that didn't want to come to us in the past now potentially could bring in someone of his calibre. I think it'd be a fantastic signing. But then again, would Conte want Dyer and Skriniar? I would say surely you would. We're building a squad that wants to compete on all fronts. So bringing someone like him in would be unreal.
Absolutely spot on. Cracking Channel says Nick COYS, new season can't come soon enough. Mate, we're all absolutely buzzing for the new season. It's going to be absolutely class. Thanks for subscribing, mate, and thanks for the kind words. Really do appreciate it, honestly. Simon saying, think he would be great for a low block team. We lost about 20 points last season because of low block teams. Yeah, good point, but I think we're a changed out for this side. I think Basuma's going to add a lot in attack and defense in terms of, box to box, really change the way we play. And of course, we've got, new wing backs coming in. It's exciting as well. The whole style could change. Out of the following, where does Bergwijn go? I can answer straight away. He's going to go to Ajax. I'm pretty sure he's going to go to Ajax. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I think he's destined to go to Ajax personally. I feel like he'd tear it up there. And I also think he's got that affinity with the Dutch league. I think the rumours are coming out, like you say, he's linked with all of them. I think Fabrizio Romano or maybe Matt Law said it, but I think it's probably to raise his price. And even if they are interested, that's only going to benefit us because we'll probably end up getting more money for him.
XFT saying Ndicka, Bremer, Romero. Why is no one talking about Ndicka? Good point. Fair question, to be fair. What do you think, Jack? Do you think this Ndicka is worth maybe the hype he's been getting?
I think probably because he's a bit inexperienced and he was still commanding a relatively high fee. I feel like that's why we look like we've gone for Lenglet. Maybe he could come in alongside him. But like you say, I trust Paratici. I like Conte. So whoever they want to bring in is the player that is probably right for Spurs.
Yeah, exactly. And this is another really good point from Finney saying we need to start finding homes for players like Ndombele and Lo Celso pretty quick to raise more funds. I know Conte wants to do his business for pre-season. I mean, we've clearly seen that from, the statement of intent with signing 4 players already, potentially even 5. I mean, what is going to happen to these players? Ndombele, Lo Celso, Winks? Are they going to go? Are they going to get sold? Are they going to get loaned? So many different questions. It's a good talking point.
Yeah, just quickly, James, to add to that, I would say I think we saw ENIC withdraw that 100 million, and that's covered with Richarlison, Basuma, Forster, and Perisic because 2 of them are free transfers. So I think that Ndombele, Lo Celso, Bergwijn, potentially Moura, Reguilon, maybe Emerson. I feel like these players, they're all going to raise maybe potentially 80 to 100 million. And I think that might be spent on a marquee signing because if you look at the players we're being brought in, that's only 100 million of our budget. And I think reports earlier on, unless anything have changed, have said this all has to be spent really by the end of this summer because it helps ENIC stocks. So why wouldn't they want to spend it all if it's going to benefit them as well? So we've spoke about 6 to 8 signings. We generally looks like we could be signing 8 signings, and maybe one or two of them could be over 50 million plus. And that's talking about bringing in serious players.
Exactly. It's absolutely madness. I mean, it's just crazy. Like the way this window's going, it's just crazy. Who knows? This deal for Richarlison realistically happened quite quickly. We were talking about it, Jack, 2-3 weeks ago, and then bang, suddenly talks happened about a week ago. And we've already got it done. Paratici just gets it cooking. He gets it done.
Target. I think that a lot of Arsenal fans and rival fans might say, "Oh, but you wanted Raphinha, you wanted Jesus." No, we didn't. Multiple times, I think a lot of Matt Law, David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano said he was our number 1 target, and we've gone out there, We spent the money. We haven't faffed around. We've got the deal done by the looks of things, and that's exactly what we need to do to be able to compete with these top teams.
Quick
And
one from Spurs.
Sorry, James. Just to add to that, they're saying about the price tag. The reason why I'm not so fussed about the 60 million price tag, including add-ons, is because we've done the job. We've got it done. We've got it over the line. That's what we've done in the past. I think it's ingrained in our mind that, but we could have got him for 45 potentially. This is the reason we didn't get players like Dybala, Jack Grealish, Skriniar, because we're worried about spending too much money. But if we're talking about a player that's going to instrumentally help the team, you should definitely spend that extra money. And I think this is where the mind shift is starting to happen.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, this comment from Spurs Live says, if you had to choose one past Spurs player to play for Tottenham in today's game, who would it be, Jack?
If you had to choose one past Spurs player,
for me,
go for it, James.
I was just going to say, for me, although I, wasn't around when he was, playing, for Spurs, I would say just based on videos, just based on status and everything else, and from family members that watched him live and everything else, Paul Gascoigne apparently was just on top of the world, top of the planet, one of the best players in the world at the time. I would have loved to have seen him. And how interesting would that have been? Gascoigne, Kane and Son. Gascoigne really like pulling the strings, being creative, getting amongst the goals. Also, he can hit a free kick. I would have gone Gascoigne. What would you go for?
I've got two here, but I'm gonna go with this one because I think it's a bit more creative. Creative. I can't talk now.
I know you're gonna say. I can read your mind. You're gonna say Van der Vaart.
I'm not, mate.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for someone in the centre midfield. I'm gonna go for Luka Modric. I think his creativity, I think he would suit perfectly because he is good defensively. He's got a great work rate. He's a Ballon d'Or winner at Real Madrid. He's a Galactico. He is just unbelievable player. His passing range is fantastic. I think we saw it in the Champions League semi-final and final. If we had him in his prime, sitting him alongside Basuma or Højbjerg, or even partnering him with potentially Skip or Bentancur, he'd be amazing. There, Leo Ball, I don't know if he said that before, but Modric or Dembele, I was going to say, would be perfect.
Ledley King, Matthew, Kevin's gone Hoddle. That's so true, says Toxic Shot. Spurs fans need to change their mindset. Exiati saying Lo Celso and Dombele, Emerson, Reguilon, Rodon, Bergwijn, Winks all have to be sold. That's a long list. Where do you think Bergwijn should go? I think he should go to Ajax. I think that's where he'll flourish and, really turn into the incredible player we see for Netherlands and sparks we've seen at Spurs. Dan says, I feel like priorities, she's prioritizing getting players in and on loan players or need to sell players. He'll wait till the end of the window. Why give a player to a rival to get a pre-season under their belt? Yeah, fair enough. I think
that's why we got given the 150 million. So we could go out there, buy all the players that we needed before pre-season. These were the players that we're talking all our priority positions. And then I think then we focus on getting players out the door. And then if there's a few deals that maybe people are willing to sell a bit lower and they're high caliber players, that's when I think we spend the money for the outgoings. So I still think there's going to be a lot of exciting turns at the end of the window. I think we're getting our priority ones before pre-season, and then a few deals. We know Paratici and Levy loves a good deal, so we could see some marquee signings being brought in at the latter end of the window as well.
Yep. Simply saying our club are terrible at selling players. We're asking too much money for them. I'm shocked we've spent 120 million and on Dembele for his transfer fee and wages. Jeez, wow. I didn't know that was a stat. 120 million on his wages and fee. Wow.
That is
shocking. That is. Could almost get Mbappe for that. I mean, that's horrendous.
Let's move on. We're on a positive.
Modric, great shout, says Kev G. Unpopular opinion, says Ada. I'd like Rodon to say. I think he deserves a little bit more of a chance. I think this is a good shout.
I like him as well. I can see why he needs regular game time to be as good of a player he is. There was an article in the week saying Jose Mourinho, before he left, said to Hugo Lloris that keep an eye on Joe Rodon. He could be a future captain for Wales and Tottenham, and he thought he was a great player. And let's be honest, Jose Mourinho knows a great player. So, there's definitely a player inside of him.
Yeah, 100%. Leo's gone for Prime Deli. Love it. Toffee's in here. Big up, mate. He says, COYS, what a window. Top 3, here we come. Yeah, top 3. Let's go top 1, you know? Why not? Why not? Let's get ahead of ourselves here. Imagine when we raise these funds from the outgoings, Levy just hogs it all and stores it in the bank, yeah. Winks will be a nightmare for the next few seasons. Bergwijn to Newcastle or Leicester. Sorry, Leeds. I can't even read. I done a UK tour of the grounds. I ended up watching Birmingham Swindon. The Blues were winning 4-1 at half time. Hoddle came on and Swindon won that 5-4. And that was at the end of his career, Glenn Hoddle. Hoddle was before your time, but believe me, he was world class. I believe you, mate. I've seen videos. He was incredible.
Plenty of stories that Hoddle was a serious player. Unless when you hear him talking on BT Sport, he knows what he's talking about. And he loves his past, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves it. I think Alfonso Davis is good. Transfers or not. Thanks for joining, Vetley Jr. Absolutely love this talking point about Alfonso Davies. What a baller, but would Bayern Munich let him go? Of course, he's had these, I think it was heart problems he had, right, Jack? So potentially...
No, I know he's heartbroken by breaking up with his girlfriend, but I didn't know it was serious as that. But fingers crossed.
Wow. What is your dream transfer for Spurs? Do you know what? That's a good question. I mean, dream in terms of like if you're going no barriers, no wage caps or anything.
Let's keep it relatively realistic, James.
Okay, relatively realistic. I think at the moment, in this current situation, Lautaro Martinez for me.
Alongside Richarlison as well. We'll bring them all in, why not?
You asked me what my dream transfer is. It's Lautaro Martinez. I mean, that's got to be said.
Mine would be, to add to that, I'm going to go Hakimi. I think he'd be amazing. Love it. Would love
Hakimi, I like that.
We brought in alongside him as well. Awesome. Because I think right wing back is such a pivotal position to Tottenham's success next year.
And I mean, agrees with you. Tony Young is saying, just found you guys' show is great. Really appreciate it, Tony. Great stuff. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for putting your comments in. And like I was saying earlier, guys, there might be new watchers now. It's still 120 strong in this, watching this stream. It's absolutely crazy numbers for us. If you are new, subscribe, smash the like button, and also comment some talking points, because this is why we're different to other Spurs channels. We get the comments on. Literally all the comments if I can keep up with it, and we make talking points out of your comments. If you want to steer the way this show goes, this is your time. This is where you can do it. And another thing, guys, let me just double check. We're currently on 91 likes. I'm going to make a little deal with you guys. If we're going to hit 100 likes by the end of this video, I will make a quiz tonight for tomorrow, and we will do a little mini Spurs related quiz. Anything from, Spurs history, Spurs transfer fees, interesting questions about what year was this kit. I'll get it banged up for you guys by tomorrow, and we will have a quiz live. Jack, you up for joining that? He's going to say he's at tennis or something. Tennis. Yeah, of course he is.
For you guys, for the Spurs relatables, the channel, the rate we're going, the way Spurs are acting, of course, I would love to do a quiz. And I've got to show everyone my knowledge. I know you guys know I know what I'm talking about, and I want to prove it in a quiz. So let's get that cracking.
Love it. Kim Pembe, maybe, says Vetley Jr. Vetley Jr., I've got to say, I did notice you had a Chelsea profile picture about 5 minutes ago. Now you got a Tottenham one. So welcome on to Tottenham, mate. Chelsea are a small club now. So thank you so much for changing to the better side.
He's rejected Chelsea and he thought it would jump ship.
Unbelievable. Leo's, oh my goodness, don't even say that, Leo. Why don't we all go all in for Kimi? Good question, Haddy. Why don't we go all in for Kimi? Let's hope we can do that. Twen, I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, mate. Twen, top goal scorer next season in the whole Prem. I'm going to call it now. I think Erling Haaland's going to be incredible for Manchester City. I think he's going to hit the ground running. A lot of people don't think he is. I'm going him.
Fantastic player, but no. Premier League top scorer next season is going to be... I think it's going to be
Richarlison.
Harry Kane. Honestly, I think next season is going to be a massive season for Spurs, and I think Harry Kane is going to show us that he is still the best striker in the Premier League and potentially in the world. So I think he's going to absolutely tear up next season with 25 plus goals.
Love it. What about this? How many trophies will Tottenham have won in 3 years' time? I'm saying 2. What are you saying?
3.
3. 3 in 3
Very
seasons.
optimistic. If you know me, I'm
Wow.
an optimistic guy, but why not? The rate we're going. I don't want to stop investing here. We have to invest the rate we're doing. It can't just be one summer. We need to bring in multiple players, keep filling those gaps, keep on proving what we're having. Why can't we win three trophies? Why? Why not? Because
Why not?
look at Man City and Liverpool. They've probably won 8 in the past 3 years between them.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Absolutely agree. What else we got here? Chelsea's finished.
He's got a new one every week, a new saying. I think what was it? Gabriel Jesus and now Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mount plays football for his 13-year-old fangirls and fails to win at Wembley. Wow. Need a proper chant for Sonny, guys, says Rajesh. Rajesh, welcome on in, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. There is a good chant for Sonny. You got to get to learn it, mate. Unless you don't like the nice one, Sonny chant, then maybe we need a new one for you.
Just quickly, I would say to keep this interactive as possible, I want all of you to make sure you subscribe so you can get it in the comments. I want to hear who would be your dream marquee signing this summer. You have got 80 million to spend, maximum can be, but I want to hear who's your marquee signing, what position, and why you think they would revolutionise this Tottenham squad. What would they bring? Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
Wow, there you go. 80 million budget, guys. Who are you bringing in, says Jack. Let us know in the comments. But Matthew thinks 3 trophies. And Vetley's saying, sorry, I'm a Tottenham fan, but one of my friends changed it. Tuan says, I feel like this season is going to be special. I agree, mate. Astra saying Spurs play is going to show South Korea games live. Absolutely love it, Astra. Thanks for joining as well. So, already got some comments. Bastoni, says Kevin. Bastoni, says Andy. Big upgrade. I started watching Spurs the season under Conte and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm a fan now. Absolutely love it, Azim. Thanks for joining as well, mate. I hope you enjoy it here at Spurs Related. Simon saying Bastoni centre back says 3 already.
Oh, they love the Italian centre half.
Wow. Football Games is saying I support Palace. Where do you think it will come next season? Do you know what? I think Vieira has been just obviously sticking on Spurs, mate. But very quickly, I thought Vieira was a brilliant managerial appointment last season for you guys. I wasn't sure how you'd do. For me, he was one of the managers of the season. Really did revolutionise you guys. Your centre backs were solid in Gueye and who's the guy? Sorry, I've forgotten his name. Anderson. That's it. Fantastic. I think you guys could finish mid-table, maybe 10th, 11th. I think it's fair enough. What do you reckon, Jack?
Totally agree. I think 10th or 9th. I think you've got a lot of exciting players. I think if you can get Gallagher on a permanent, he was fantastic for you last year. I think you've got Erebice Eze. He's a player I really like. You've also got Michael Elise. These are players that are only going to get better with more game time. I think Mark Gueye, he's a fantastic centre half. I think it's an exciting time to be a Palace fan. I think Vieira's done a great job for you this season. And good luck to you. See how you do. But I've got to be honest, do I think you'll be competing with Spurs at the upper end of the table? Maybe not. But I'm sure you're not expecting that anyway. Not from a cocky point of view, just from a stats point of view and where your current trajectory is going. But I definitely think you're moving up. And good luck to you. Good luck to the Palace fans in there.
Yeah, and thanks for joining Football Games. Really appreciate the subscribe. And he's going 10th. So, yeah, thanks for bringing up on the talking point, mate. I hope to see you again. Matthew's going Bastoni. Simply Ace is going Hakimi to your question. Not on Dembele. Very good point, Rajesh. Very, very good point. Marley would be 40-odd million. Quick, strong Champions League experience, goals and assists. Could vouch for that, actually. Yeah, I like that. Llorente, because Spurs need a creative midfielder who can also play as a right back. Wow.
I think he's saying Marcus Llorente from Atletico Madrid. Really good shout. I like him. I like him as a player, but I don't see it happening, to be honest. But then again, like I said, 80 million, you've got to spend it. Yeah.
Hattie's going Gvardiol for 80. Finn's going Gvardiol. Ben Davies, Mr. Average himself, is becoming a bit outdated. As much as I love him, Josko is perfect.
Like him a lot. I think 80 million for a 20-year-old with not as much experience as I would like is a bit steep. But then again, fantastic player with loads of scope to improve.
Yep, absolutely. Azim's going Hakimi is not leaving PSG that easily, sadly. Yeah. Well, we can all dream, right? We can all dream. Palace is going to be good. I talk to my Palace supporting friend every day, and it seems like they're doing well. Signed Decora and end up in the top 10, which would be improvements. Wow, interesting. Guys, I've had it on the screen for a little while. 100 likes. Let's see what we're at for the quiz tomorrow. We're 98, guys. Two likes.
If you want to see the quiz, then don't disappoint.
Yeah, you literally guys got a few minutes. But Jack, I mean, any concluding thoughts on the business today and how excited you are for the next few days with potentially Jed Spence coming in, Clement Lenglet, and of course, there could be potentially new links every single day, which seems to be the case at the moment. Do you want to give some concluding thoughts?
100%. I would say, look, it's been a fantastic stream. It's been great to see all of you guys in here. I'd love to see you subscribing because I promise you there's going to be some fantastic content. We've got vlogs, we've got live stream, we've got quizzes, and we're in an interactive channel. So it's great to see. I think we just hit 100 likes, as Andy said, which is amazing.
Incredible.
But yeah, talking about the upcoming days, I really don't think this is the end of Spurs' business. I think it looks like we're going to bring in Jed Spence. I think it looks like we're going to bring in another centre-half to complement alongside Lenglet. Richarlison, fantastic signing. And it looks like Alistair reported that we're going to be keen to look at potentially another forward, looking more like to be a striker, as well as maybe a creative midfielder. And right wing back and centre-half deals to be done in the next couple of days. So very excited to be a Spurs fan. I can't wait to talk about it here on Spurs Related. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. Very exciting times. I've said it about 10 times this stream, but I'm honestly so excited. Although I'm not massively sold on Richarlison, you know, I think he's a versatile player. He's clearly a very good player, but time will tell how good he will be for Spurs. Quick question from Rajesh saying, can we get Eriksen back? It's gone quiet. I can see him going elsewhere, but you never know the twists and turns in this window. Sarr, someone put it earlier. I'm so sorry. I think I've lost the comment. Someone suggested Sarr earlier. It could also be another great option. Simply saying, great show, lads. Please hit the like, subscribe. Yeah, guys, if you've been watching all video for the whole hour, firstly, thank you so much because, you know, an hour of us, you know, I hope you guys have enjoyed it, but the support has been incredible. Please do smash the like, but more importantly, subscribe. We just hit 1.1k. We've gained about 60 subs today. It's crazy work. It's crazy growth. 1.1k. Next one, 1.2k. Let's keep growing. Obviously, now we've hit 100 likes. As I promised, there will be a quiz tomorrow. I'll make it happen. So the quiz is coming tomorrow. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow. We'll probably go live around 7 p.m. UK for that one. But we'll let you know in the community section. Make sure you keep an eye on the community section. You guys know where it is if you go to our channel and then scroll across from videos, community. I will put in there exactly what time we'll go live. It'd be great to see you guys answering all the questions. I hope you guys are excited for that. Let us know if you're going to come for the quiz tomorrow in the comments after the video. And also after, guys, if I could ask you to do one more thing. If you could, after this live stream ends, go on the offline comments, you know, the comments under the video, and just quickly comment your thoughts on Richarlison. Are you guys happy? Are you guys buzzing to see him in a Spurs shirt? Or are you guys not massively sold on Richarlison, a little bit like me? Or is it just a sense of just...
And let us know who you'd like to see be brought in. Let us know what content ideas you'd like to see. Even if there's some faces where you think, oh, these two guys would be a fantastic collab alongside me and James and Andre. So we want to hear your thoughts. We want to see you hit that subscribe button. Like I say, it's the start of something special, I hope. So yeah, going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing how much this channel grows as much as I look forward to seeing Tottenham on the pitch.
Absolutely. There's been a few more comments, guys, a few more questions. We'll get to them next episode, so please do come back and ask the questions then. Like I said, if you guys could smash a comment and a like on the video and comment underneath the video after this ends, saying if you're buzzing with Richarlison or not, that would be awesome. Josh is buzzing for the quiz. I hope you guys can all join us for the quiz tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you again, honestly, so much for the support. You know, over 100 viewers the whole stream. It's been incredible. Hope you enjoy the content. There's plenty more to come if you do enjoy it. And of course, Jack, thanks for joining me. But we will be live tomorrow with this quiz. Hope you guys are buzzing for it. And always, as always, guys, remember, come on, you Spurs!